Alrighty. Well, Andy, thank you so much for your time. I know you've been quite busy lately with your preseason training already. First of all, tell me, how did you like your TV pundit appearance? We really enjoyed that the last couple of days. Is that something you might be interested one day?
You know, the stuff that I like, I did a little bit of commentary once at Wimbledon, and I did an amazing match it was Nadal and Del Potro. Um, it was a brilliant match, but I didn't like sitting in the booth for that long. What I do enjoy doing, like I like analyzing matches and stuff and talking about strategy and tactics and stuff. So I like that side of things, not so much the kind of the commentary side of things. So I don't know, maybe when I finish playing one day, but I'm not sure. It depends what I would have to do. How do you enjoy it?
Same thing. When you have to sit around and those are long hours. So that's the tough part. But like you said, analyzing the tactical aspects, that's I think where we enjoyed that. And I have to say you've done an incredible job, and we all appreciated it very much. So definitely something you should consider one day. Talking about the media, it's part of our job of a tennis professional. Is that something you've enjoyed over the years doing, or you kind of try to keep a distance from all of
that? So when I first started on the tour, I quite liked it. I didn't mind it because I was young and like I just sort of said what I thought, and I didn't think that much about what I was saying. And I think a lot of especially in the British press, you know, they seemed to enjoy that at the beginning, but then I had a few issues like early in my career where I'd said things that maybe I shouldn't have said. Some things that I had intended to be jokes were turned into something different that were very serious, and actually caused me quite a lot of issues for a number of years. And then I started to feel very anxious and nervous about doing, you know, interviews, press conferences, especially things that were I don't know, like doing something like this, for example. Like now, like I like it. I know that it's comfortable and that we're, you know, nothing bad's going to happen. But sometimes there's a few interviews that I did where I don't know, made me feel uncomfortable. And probably in the middle part of my career, I didn't enjoy it so much. Whereas now, you know, I'm fine with it. The latter part of my career, I didn't mind it. I didn't mind it so much. And it's fine. But there was definitely a period in my career where I struggled with it, and I felt very, like I said, anxious, and I didn't really know how to act and how to behave. And it was tough.
How were you able to actually deal with that incredible pressure you had on your shoulders? I can't even imagine, because the rest of us, you know, we come to England for 1 month of the year. Yes, there are a few things written, but then we go home, where you have this like 12 months all the time.
Yeah, like I said, I did find it difficult, but then I started to, my way of dealing with it was to just be quite, well, let's say boring, I guess. Like I never gave away too much detail and never said anything maybe that was, I don't know, that controversial or anything like that. So it just became, part of my job, which I think is a bit of a shame, because I think, I don't think I'm the only player that has felt that way, but I sometimes think that, that the sport loses out a little bit, because players maybe don't show like all of their personality or share all of their thoughts. And I also, you know, I think that I feel like in tennis we do too many interviews and too many press conferences. Like, you know, I've done one after every single match I've played in my whole career, apart from maybe 5 or 10, which has been, I think I've played like 800 matches. And we do one after every single, like I say, every match we play. And I think it just, I don't know, they become a bit boring sometimes. Whereas I think in other sports, that's not always the case. And I think that would make things a little bit more interesting. But my way of dealing with it and to sort of, I guess, take less pressure off myself was just to, give kind of quite bland, generic answers, and it helped. But yeah, probably came across as me sometimes maybe not being as interested as I should have been, which wasn't necessarily the case. I just didn't want to say something that would create me, take energy away from what I was trying to do on the court, basically.
Yeah, it's so true. It's like we almost build kind of a wall and then we get criticized for that they want to see more emotions. Then we do that. And then, things are taken completely out of context. So yeah, it's such a good point you make. Talking about more detailed, I will ask you something very specific that interests me so much that you said a couple days ago. You want to come back stronger and fitter than ever.
Mm.
That is, to me, the thing I admire the most about you, honestly. And I can't even imagine how that is possible, because knowing how I felt towards, the older I was getting, it's just so hard. So please explain me a little bit, how do you even go about this?
Obviously, like from throughout my career, there's certain like physical challenges that I've had for myself, or certain sessions that I've done when I've been kind of at my fittest, and certain exercise I do in the gym that like with weights, it's quite easy to tell, like on a certain exercise, like the best I've done at that is 200 kilos 3 times, for example. So there's been like key certain exercises that I'm doing, which I've been doing throughout my whole career, where yes, it's very difficult to, as you get older, to obviously get fitter and stronger and those things. But like this off season for me, usually my off seasons have been 4 or 5 weeks, whereas this time it's 10 weeks. So it's giving me the opportunity to work on those things. The one thing that hasn't got to the level that it used to be yet is the speed, which I spoke about as well. And that's the one thing that maybe won't get to where it was, but all of the other things like the strength and the endurance and those things, like they can. So yeah, I'm wanting to give these last few years like the best shot that I have, because actually when I came back and played like in New York and at the US Open, like I felt really, really good, like physically on the court. My tennis wasn't as I would have liked, but then I picked up this injury after my first match in New York, and then it kind of ruined the end of the year for me, and I just don't want that to happen again. Obviously it could, but the best way to avoid that is obviously to get as strong as possible and get as fit as possible to try and reduce the chances of it, so I can give the next few years a good go. So that's kind of what I want to do, and hopefully it works out.
Where do you find that drive and motivation that I keep saying on and on TV, that to me you are the best example, not only in tennis, in all the sports, after everything you've achieved, to still have that same drive?
There's definitely been times over the last few years where I lost that, like just because of the injuries and stuff, and I hadn't been working as hard as what I needed to. And I think that's like, as you get older, you need to, obviously there's certain things that you can do differently, but you almost need to work harder to stay in shape, like, and spend more time like with your physio and stuff like afterwards to feel good. But yeah, I think just in the last sort of 2 or 3 months, I got on this machine that measures your body fat after the French Open, and it wasn't good.
Oh, come on, you and body fat. I can't believe you are actually complaining here.
So it wasn't good in comparison to what I'd done when I was younger. And actually, it was something like as simple as that, where I was like, come on, Andy, you need to just get back to like, I'd been working fairly hard, but I could have done much better, and I could have been eating healthier, and I could have been sleeping better. And it's like, I was like, come on, like, if I may never get back to being number one in the world, but I want to do everything that I did when I was number one in the world to give myself the best chance to see what I can achieve. And that was, I was incredibly professional. I worked hard. I ate properly, slept well. And yeah, that's kind of what started this latest kind of change in mentality. It was something as small as that, which, like you say, I know I'm not like very overweight or anything, but it was just something like that. I got on there and I was like, no, like you should be in better shape. You should have less body fat. You should be eating better and stuff. So that was it. Something as small as that. It wasn't what someone said to me or a match that I lost or whatever. It was, just that's what it was.
So funny. It's the perception we have of ourselves. I know exactly what you mean. I did that test also a year ago, and when you are used to what it used to be, and then you look and see the number, I'm like, oh my god, everyone thinks I'm fit, but it's like, yes, I go for a 10-mile run, but that's it. So in our head, it's like, oh my gosh, this is so embarrassing. But after you said that you want to be fitter and stronger, I was like, I'm actually debating of, just for myself, try to do the same and give myself maybe 2-3 months of proper training. And if I do that, you will be the one to blame when I get tired.
And make a comeback at the end.
No. I would just do the training part, just to see physically whether it's possible or not. So I think you are not motivating, so many athletes out there, but also normal people. Like you said, it's about being in the best shape and the best version of yourself. So thank you for that.
That's right.